It's the first Tuesday of the month, y'all, and for my regular Leets and Geeks out there, y'all know what time it is. It's time for some RPG Elite philosophy for life. Now, some of y'all might be saying, this one, if it's the one I think, Servant, this one I think is a little bit too on the head here. I don't think you're going to be able to do this one. Oh, contraire, mon frere. Come on now, it's your boy Servant. I'm 5-7 steps ahead, y'all. I know what's up. And actually, to apply this to your life, the principle behind it was really easy to find. RPG Elites support their game master. And we've got one more to go, and then we're done with this series. I think what I'm going to do probably is going to take a small break, and then we'll come back to something new with the RPG Elite philosophy after we get done. But first, we got to get done. So let's slide on into that. And we do that on this channel by rolling that transition. You know, when it comes to tabletop RPGs, there is a social aspect to it, or really I should say there can be a social aspect to it. And there is an idea that everyone has when they come to the table. And the most basic thing that everyone expects is, hey, let's all just have fun and play the game. So that's the most basic expectation. And in order to do this, then everyone has to support one another. So the GM has to support the players by putting in the work and the effort to create something where they can live. And the players have to support the GM by doing simple things like being there on time, knowing how to play the game and the major mechanics, and also other little things, knowing their characters and playing off of one another, because many times that's where the GM gets their enjoyment from the session. And so this kind of support of one another is really what's needed in every tabletop RPG in order for you to have a more immersive, enjoyable, and meaningful tabletop RPG experience. Well, it's the same thing in life. You have all these different relationship dynamics in your life, whether it be parent and child, wife, husband, just normal friends, employee, employer, all of these different relationships. And we go to support one another. And there's different ways of showing your support in all of these different types of relationships. I'm going to show you two. I'm going to talk about two. One comes specifically for tabletop RPGs, but another comes from just the relationship that we're probably most familiar with, or one of the relationships we're most familiar with, which is husband and wife. So it was years ago, and we're sitting in my basement, and me and the fellows are about to play some classic Marvel Superheroes Advanced tabletop RPG, right? And we've been having this small campaign, and things were going good, and you know, there's 3 of them, and I've been running the game, really excited about getting back. This is my favorite game of all time, y'all. And they know it's my favorite game of all time. They see that I have everything for this game, just crazy amounts of stuff for this game. I just went out, this was my game. This is my game, y'all. So we're getting ready to play, and I'm noticing them talking a little bit back and forth, and I'm just kind of like going, oh, they must be planning on doing something, you know, kind of surprise me. They must have spoke after the last session. I'm a little geeked to see what it is that they are going to do. So I get myself set up and get everything ready. I'm like, okay, you know, now let's get started. And before we get started, one of them says, hey, well, you may need this. And so they put this on the table. This very envelope right here. It wasn't blurry like that. There we go. And I was like, okay. So I'm still thinking that this is tied to whatever it is they got planned, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, well, cool. You know, so I go in, take it, And they know that I have just about everything for this game, but I have copies of one thing, the Ultimate Powers book. I have a copy of it, and I'm fine with having a copy of it. Because when I went on eBay and everything, it was like expensive, like 75, 80 bucks. Sometimes it was even more depending on how many there were. And I was just like, man, that's expensive. But I kept watching and I kept waiting. I'm a patient man. I said, I'm going to get that deal. I'm going to get this book. And so they know this. They know this is the only thing I don't have. I'd mentioned it before, but we mentioned it just in talking. So they put this on the table and I'm like, okay. And what do you know? Inside of this very envelope is the Ultimate Powers book. I'm sitting there stunned. I don't know what to do, because they got me. They got me good. And even recounting it right now, it just brings up all the emotion of the moment. I was totally blindsided. So I smiled, I thanked them, and I left the table. And I went upstairs and I started talking to my wife, and that's when I broke down. I started crying, and my wife was like, what's wrong? Because she thought like something bad had happened. And I was like, nah, man, they brought me the Ultimate Powers book. And she didn't know what that meant. And so I had to explain to her what it meant. And to me, to this day, this is a symbol of them supporting their GM and the love that they were expressing towards me to say, thank you. Thank you for what you do. We appreciate it. I'm looking at it right now, still just like, wow. I still, when I want to look at Ultimate Power stuff, I still look at my copy. This stays right in this envelope. The envelope that it came in. Sure do. It stays right here, y'all. But that is how they support me. One of the special ways they supported me as a GM, by giving me a tool that I didn't really need, but it was more an expression of love, and I treasure this thing, which is why I don't take it out of there. I love recounting that story. So that's one way. So let's go to the other way in life and how people can support one another. So I'm just going to give you an example from my life. So the most important relationship in my life is with the Lord Jesus Christ. And the second most important relationship in my life, bar none, is with my wife. She is my best friend. It's not even a comparison with anybody else. And so I think about my wife a lot, and we're together a lot. Like we're best friends, man. We laugh and we're silly, and it's just cool. I love this woman. And so every once in a while, when the Lord puts her on my heart in a special way, that I just get an itch to want to do something. And so what I'll do is I'll go to the store and I'll buy her a balloon and a card, maybe a little sweets or something, and I get it all with a gift bag and all the rest of that stuff and tie it on. Then I'll drive up to her job and I will drop it off, and I will say, I just want you to know I love you. And I leave. It could be done in a couple of seconds because, I don't want her to get in trouble. And that's it. And she sits there and she always smiles when I do it. But I just want her to know that I support her. I support her in who she is. I am thankful for her. I am thankful for her in my life. Well, she reciprocates that. This is stuff that's not asked for. It comes out of the blue, and we don't do it all of the time to where it just kind of like loses its meaning. It's just when it moves on our heart to really show this to one another. And so she knows that I don't wear any, or I wear hats doing this. here on RPG Elite. Well, what she does is she goes out and every once in a blue moon, she'll buy me a hat. And the most recent one is one that I love. And it's the one I'm wearing right now. She got me this kind of out of the blue. Hey, I got that for you. I thought that you like it or whatever. And I'm like, I love it. Thank you. And you guys have seen me ever since I've had it. I've worn this to death on this channel. I mean, and you guys know I have a lot of different hats, and she's bought me a lot of different hats, but she just wants to know I'm supporting you. Whatever way that I can, I am going to support you in what you do. I love you. These things are expressions of love, and we have several relationships in our lives when we can do these kinds of things, whether it be husband and wife, or parent and child, employee, employer. When's the last time you told your boss, if you've got a good boss, when's the last time you told them, I really appreciate you. Thank you for being such a good boss. Got them a card or just showed them, just gave them an expression that, hey, I appreciate you. A lot of people don't do that. They don't even do that to their parents. Now, a lot of people come from different backgrounds. You got a lot of different drama going on, and some of that stuff is exacerbated by them. But hey, I'm not even going to go there, right? But here's the thing. In the very least, the relationships that you deem positive in your life, well, what have you done to support them? There is a Bible verse, and it says this in the book of Galatians, chapter 6, be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man sows, that shall he reap. So here's the principle. You want more encouragement in your life? Go give it to somebody. Give it out. Support somebody with encouraging words. You want more love in your life? Go show it. Love's a verb, y'all, not a feeling. Love's a verb. You do things to show your love. Doing this and just saying I love you, yeah, that's not enough. And a lot of times doing this, there's a lot of times with people who are abusive, and that's what they do after they get done abusing their victim. Oh, I love you. I'm so sorry. I love you. Yeah, no, you don't, because what you are doing says the exact opposite. And so if you never show how you love someone, to just support them in who they are, but you want people to do that to you, well, it ain't gonna happen like that. It doesn't happen like that. So more love, so more encouragement. If you see that your neighbor has some trash in their yard, go pick it up. You don't have to announce that you're going to pick it up. Just go pick it up. I do that stuff all the time. Why? They're my neighbor. It's in their yard. I know they didn't want it there. So I'll just pick it up, put it in the trash, go on about my business. Small little acts. Because it's the simple things in life, y'all, that scream. So if you want to support people, then make a list. Make a list of people. Go and say thank you to your parents. Not on Mother's Day, not on Father's Day. Go do something for them. Show up one day at their house and say, I'm going to cut the grass. Oh, you don't need to do that. No, I want to. I just want you to know I love you, and I just want to do this for you. And it's just a way of supporting them. You know, because there's a lot of kids out there who are too busy and they can't even give their parents a phone call, let alone go over to their house and actually do something for them. Yeah, they're just too busy doing their thing. How about showing some love, showing some appreciation, showing some gratitude, supporting the people in your life, teachers and employers and even employees and things like that. This is how you support one another in life with these things. And if you do that more, then you'll get more. And you're going to find life, it can be pretty darn good when you have people supporting you. You know, one of the things that we have to admit in the tabletop RPG space is that there's just a whole lot of people who are socially inept and emotionally stunted. That's why they kind of gravitate towards this. They don't know how to express themselves. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Everybody has a different background, and so they just don't know how to support people with words of encouragement and saying, I love you. They probably don't have it in their own life. But even if you don't, what I'm going to encourage you or exhort you to do today is to take the first step and be a leader. Have some initiative. If you want more something in your life, go give it out if you can. Go give it out. You want more encouragement, start giving out more encouragement. If you want more help, start helping other people. And this stuff is therapeutic. It's like the Bible said, once again, it's more blessed to give than to receive. So don't sit up there and complain about it. Go sow bountifully. And trust me, you're going to find that it's not only going to change your life and your environment and your relationships, it will change you. Hey, if you got any value out of this video today, go ahead and do a brother a solid and crush that like button. Also, if you want to stick around, I come out with videos every Tuesday, God willing, and also some other days of the week if I feel like it. It just depends on what's going on in that week. So if you don't want to miss any of those, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. All right, let's get to our famous question of the vid. Now, we've been talking about these different types of support for the different relationships that we have in our lives. But as I just mentioned at the beginning of this segment, there's a lot of people in the tabletop RPG space who are either emotionally stunted, socially awkward, both. So what is the most difficult thing for you when it comes to supporting other people in your life? Yeah, I'm going to get raw with it. You don't have to get real personal. Just tell me what's difficult for you. What's difficult? Where are you finding speed bumps in doing these kind of things? And keep it simple. Or if you want to get deep with it, just send me an email. You don't have to put all your business out there. And I will answer. And I will read your comments. And that's going to be it for me, folks. That's it. So that means time to do my snagglepuss.
So exit stage left.
Hey, you got a game going on this week, y'all, and happy gaming! I hope it is an RPG Elite session. So in the meantime, between time, go ahead and watch this video right here. And me, your boy, I gots to go. Peace. 5,000 leets. Oh, that's right. I'm gone.